since I still cannot stream live, I guess I have to record it. That's the only way that I can get out this message. Um, I seriously thought that I could go live because I seen the Dell logo is not booting up in manufacturing status, so I seriously thought that I could go live. And I was happy about it. I'm like, yay. Then click on start stream and boom, get the same message that I was getting when my PC was booting up in manufacturing status. I don't know. I don't know. Talking something about drivers and possibly need to update my drivers. I don't know, bro. I'm not computer techie. But anyway, nonetheless, this video is a flow by way of the spirit, okay? And I think I might have to go get me some more water. um, so give me just a moment. I'll be right back. Flow by way of the spirit. All right. And thank you very much for your patience. I appreciate it. So anyway, we're gonna start with reviewing Big Judas video. All right, 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. We're not streaming no audio, okay? Cause I ain't got time for it. All right. Now, flowing by way of the spirit. Let me just give you an update. So I guess we're gonna start with that. We're gonna start with an update on what all I have. Okay. So I do have a lot of stuff here. Um, I think I brung some of these melodies out, but let me go to the audios that I had left over, recent audios. Okay, it was quite a lot of them. All right, quite a lot. 1 second. All right. Give me just a second, people, because I get. Let's see. All right. 1, 2, 3. Like 10. I had 10 left over. Okay. I had 10 left over, but they're kind of long. Well, one was recorded on 6/23/24. It's a damn shame how you're sealing your fate. It's not too long. It's only 28 minutes, but I never got a chance to bring that yet. Um, one recorded on 6/27. Here to set the world on fire. All right, 6/20/24. The longer you withhold your resources, the worse off you're about to be. All right, another one recorded on 6/20. Evil cannot rule forever. All right, 6/16. Let's see. These are all long. Okay, like these are all long, except for the first one that I read to you. The rest of them are over 30 minutes long. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see. 6/16/24. You may want to check your self righteousness. 6/15/24. The nations are about to weep. Okay, 45 minutes at least. All right. 5/25/24. Just some thoughts about my circumstances. Might end up changing that title. I don't know. 5/24. 24 is a review of Big Judah's video. Sorry about that. The Most High will not destroy the Americas with nukes. All right. All of these were recorded when I did not have internet the last time. Okay. So I didn't get a chance to even bring all of them forward. Okay. I had lost net for a while. And I'm getting ready to lose it again tomorrow. Okay. So it's going to be cut tomorrow sometime. I don't know what time. But I'm not even going to worry about getting on here, you know, doing this work, bro. Because clearly, you know, it's time for me to take a break. All right. Um, let's see. 5/15/24. Thoughts after Verizon was disconnected. 4/19/24. All praises to the Most High. And I think that was there wasn't much on there. It was kind of just a short praise report. The rest of it, it wasn't no talking on it at all. All right. But anyway, that is the update of what I had to bring. So that's 10 audio. Well, nine audios. Okay, because I already had talked about the one on 419. So I kind of already gave the praise report, so it's kind of it would be redundant to redo it. All right. So anyway, 9 audios that I had to bring forward, but as you can see, since I've been back, I've been busy. All right, I've put out a lot of work since I returned. So anyway, like I said, we're going to start with my brother Big Judah. The whole world knew about us before 1492. The whole world still contributes to this conspiracy today. Okay? These nations literally feel self-entitled to tell us where we're from. Like, wow. Like, wow. The self-righteousness. Like, how dare you, sir? How dare you, ma'am, try to tell me where I am from? And you're literally basing it upon the educational institutions, okay? Where we were taught colonizers' view of history, okay? His story. And you're holding on to that for dear life. You should stop doing that, because you're gonna be humiliated. All right, we're bringing facts that cannot be refuted. So regardless of your belief system, the truth is what matters. Okay, I know you want to believe that we ain't nothing but niggas. I know you want to believe that we ain't nothing but your property, a commodity. This is how you want to view us. Like we don't deserve to have a land of origin. For real, for real. To know exactly what land our ancestors are from. We're just supposed to blindly accept what the colonizers have taught to us for centuries. We're supposed to take that to the bank and expect to cash it. See, I know, and the scriptures confirm that the Gentiles have lied about everything. Alright? So, you can't trust your enemy to tell you the truth. Like, what the hell? This is what we were taught in school. Year after year after year after year. That they brung us over here on slave ships from Africa. So it had us feeling like we're foreigners all of our life. Having us think that this land is European land. And that's your mindset. Today, the United States of America is American, all right? That's the nickname, American, okay? Because it's literally a Eurocentric world view, and it's the headquarters thereof. But how in the hell did indigenous land become a Eurocentric land, a European land? How that happened? Let's listen to my brother Big Judah.
This crafty council is much deeper than we ever imagined. I've said it multiple times, but the Most High never ceases to amaze me by showing you how deep this crafty council has been. All of these other nations knew about the fourth part. And actually, some people from the three parts were coming to live on the fourth part. So much so that some of these governments at the third and the three parts had to make laws so that their people didn't all leave their lands over there in so-called Europe and those Greek areas, so that, you know, they could maintain their cities and civilizations over there. There are many accounts of the lands and what they look like over here. The whole world knew about Mayak, the lands that were the first to rise from the depths of the ocean. So since pretty much the whole world knew about these lands, when they went and took them over, and they started the whole notion that these lands were just, we never knew they were here. We had no idea these lands were here. There was nobody living here. Those Native Americans that were here, they were just backwards people who didn't have any knowledge of whatsoever. True knowledge has started over here in the three parts. They all have to be confederate with the lie. So the fact that they all are going with that story shows you that Psalms 83 was and still is alive and well. When, you know, stuff was sent to, you know, artifacts were sent to museums, they would hide the artifacts in the basements of the museums and never display them, showing the, you know, the great things that happened here, the great things that were made here, invented here in the Americas. The museums were like, oh, nobody wants to see that. That's not something that the people want to see. There's no interest in seeing, you know, the great artifacts from the Americas. See, they don't want to see that because then it's in their face that they've been lying about the greatness of these lands. And they also are doing these things because they're trying to make it seem as if prophecy revolves around them. Prophecy revolves around the three parts. That the fourth part is only going to get destroyed, and that there's no such thing as prophecy about America. The only that it's going to be destroyed. That's all that they say. Not the greatness of these lands. Because they want to be great. And they weren't here originally. So therefore they got to pretty much take the greatness that was here and apply it to themselves. Right. And everyone has to go along with it. Damn the facts. Damn the facts. Damn all the evidence of the greatness of the people that were here. Damn all of that. If you want to be part of my group, you're Psalms 83. You've got to take crafty counsel against the hidden ones. Why are we hidden? Because no one wants to acknowledge who we are. Exactly. No one wants to acknowledge our greatness. So you have to hide who we are. You have to hide our greatness in order for you to step in to our shoes. So let's read that real quick. Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. So they're all consulting against us. They're consulting to not admit who we are and how great we are. And that goes for anyone that is still pushing the three parts has something to do with prophecy. These people have nothing to do with prophecy. They're just trying to make up things to inject themselves into our book and into our, our history and our future. So again, they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Okay? And consulted against thy hidden ones. And the only reason we're hidden is because they say things like, all these artifacts, nobody wants to see these. All this information that comes out, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear about what happened here. No one wants to hear about the history before Columbus. See, the Florentine Codex, 12 books, I saw on sale today for $4,000. There's one set, a whole set for $3,500, one set for $3,850. And all this is pre-1492. Pre-Columbus. And these 12 books are worth $4,000. These books were they were pretty much asking $333 for each book. Because that goes to Psalms 83. They'll say, oh, nobody wants to hear about the Florentine Codex. Nobody wants to hear about the history from the words of the Native Americans. Let's just bury that information in the basement of a museum. Let's never talk about that because we want to keep those hidden ones hidden. But that's not going to happen anymore. So they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. We don't want to hear about your greatness. We don't want to hear about the greatness of the Americas. We don't want to hear about the greatness of your nation. We have cut you off from being a nation. You're no one. You're African American. You're stuck in between two continents where neither group wants you. The Constantine Christian Americans don't want you. The Hamite Africans don't want you. So you're just stuck in the middle with no one giving any kind of recognition to you as a person.
Exactly. and that's why is a European world view over here as the headquarters, because after all, the United States government was established as a Christian nation. But the Christianity that they came to bring over to these lands was spread by way of the sword. It was by force. It was through raping, robbing, murdering, and plundering. Literally. Now, let's see. This is a book entitled When Rocks Cry Out. Okay? When Rocks Cry Out. Alright? Chapter 6. Oops. That's too big. I'm going to have to do it like this, and I'll just do it this way. Alright. So, the thread that led to the stones. I only have 2 pages of it, alright? I only have 2 pages. I don't think I got the book, but let me see. And even if I do, I'm not trying to go that deep, but I am curious if I have this book. Because if I don't, I'm going to try to find it. Okay, no. I think I did try to get it one day and I couldn't find it, so I'll try again soon. All right. So you see, it's chapter 6, When Rocks Cry Out, the thread that led to the stones. All right. One second. Water. Always, they ask me the question, why are you doing this? When may you start looking for this? The secret histories unfolded during my search for an early group of people in North America known as, quote, the Cali. A public television PBS documentary, The History of the American West, mentioned the early Spanish explorers found a people called Cali living in the western reaches of the North American continent. The documentary made no other mention of the Cali after revealing these early Americans to be quote unquote black. I had never heard of the Cali or of any other black skinned people being in America when Columbus came. I sent emails to PBS asking for the sources that told of the Cali. I got no response. I searched the internet for the History of the American West documentary and found an excerpt from that project, but there was no reference to the Cali. Weeks passed. Weeks passed, and still not one single sentence was found about the American Cali. I would try one last time. The documentary said the early Spanish explorers saw the Cali, so I decided to concentrate on the period when Spain began its exploration of the Americas. All right, let me get the next page. Yes, it's a little difficult to read. It's kind of blurry. All right. Almost immediately, my fortune changed. Rare books and maps of the southwest region of North America were found in the Special Collections Library at a local university. Maybe I will find something about the Cali in those maps and records. Arriving at this library, I discovered there were numerous old maps and records about the period and place where the Spanish explorers saw the Cali. I was fortunate to meet a Hispanic librarian who possessed deep knowledge of the historical Spanish literature, which included some of the most detailed descriptions of the quote unquote New World and its people. Now, when they say New World, they're only saying that because it was new to the Europeans. It was not new to us. To us, it was the old world. Okay? It is the biblical land. Okay? It's the true promised land. It is the land of milk and honey. Okay? So only to the Europeans is it known as the New World. And it is also the Europeans that brought about the New World Order. Okay? Their New World Order was established over here on indigenous land while oppressing the indigenous people, refusing to let us go, tightening their grip upon us repeatedly. And the whole world has been complacent with it. She knew the records that preserved Spain's early descriptions of the Americas. After being introduced to her, I went straight to the riddle that had consumed me. I'm looking for the black people called Cali who were in the Americas when the conquistadors arrived. The slight smile fell from the librarian's mouth. She glanced about the dimly lit room, apparently to determine if anyone overheard my question. That should raise a little bit of suspicion. Like, why would somebody act that way when it comes to talking about the black people called Cali who were in the Americas when the conquistadors arrived? Because it's like a hush hush, like, oh my God, you can't talk about this, and we're gonna get into it because she's gonna say it. Like, why can't we talk about it? Because you want to keep us up under subjection, refusing to restore who we were before you invaded. She walked me quickly to a table, away from the ears of the few people near the entrance. She was acting nervous. I can tell you where to find the blacks who were in America when Columbus came here, she whispered as she leaned toward me for confidentiality. But you do understand that people do not like to talk about that, don't you? See, we know you don't want to talk about it. And we know why you don't want to talk about it. Because you're claiming this land as your land now. And you want to look your nose down at us as if we are nothing. We don't matter. So you can just take our land, live however the hell you want to live on our land, and treat us like trash. She did not wait for an answer. I know there were several groups of blacks here, and just not in the islands, but in South America too, she offered, while occasionally looking around as though we were committing a grave conspiracy. Now, my brother Big Judah started off reading from Psalms 83. Alright. I wonder if that'll bring that back up. Hold on a second. Yeah, because I wanted to look up something. You see, you can't hide stuff forever. You can't hide it forever. And this ain't even this ain't even the only book, bruh. There are many. I have many records that prove we were already here when the Europeans invaded. Okay, this is an old picture of the original people that were here. They have reclassified us as Negro and Black and African American to strip us of who we were. Give us a whole different identity. So, time's up, people. Time is up, alright? You done the most. Okay? You done the most. South Tamari, North Tamari. Okay? This is indigenous land. Alright? So this is known as Memphis. Okay? This is ancient Eden. ancient Egypt was over here in a fourth part of the earth. This is the biblical land. So it don't matter what you people want to think. Okay? Now, let's get to this Psalms 83. Keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Then they had to resurrect the name of Israel in 1948. Hold on. Second. Yeah, 1948. The United States and her motherland, Britain, okay, the dragon, all right, the beast and the dragon shipped millions of Caucasians from Europe to the counterfeit land, claiming that it was the Most High's will for them to be sent over there, put over there, to create their homeland and resurrect the name Israel. Well, this is 1948, but they've been destroying us since 1492. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Then it lists all of these nations. Of course, they've renamed all the nations. All right? But this is a list of all the nations of Psalms 83, including some of our own people. So it's not a surprise that you may see someone wrapped in our skin that has the mentality of the worst of the heathen. They sold out. So it ain't about skin color. It's about morality. It's about what's right apart from what's wrong. We know that there's wicked men within Israel who persuade many, saying, let's go and make a covenant with the heathen that are all round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. But I've had a hell of a life of sorrow and misery. But I ain't selling out to the heathen. Instead, I chose to go all out for the Most High. How about that? Let's go back to my brother. But you see this? You know, they get in the land over there, all right? The land that they created as their homeland, all right? And then they begin genocide, okay? And ethnic cleansing, because there is other people over there in those lands who were not Europeans. Okay, so they invaded the lands over there too. All right? Just manifesting their destiny all over the place. But you're proud of your history, huh? Oh no, you're not proud of your history. Now you're trying to bury it. You don't want to talk about it. Well, now I know why you don't want to talk about it. Because you want to remain on top of the world as the pinnacle of great civilization. But we don't live in a great civilization. We are living in a nightmare. at your hands. It's at the hands of your forefathers. So you're going to have to face this. You're going to have to face the genocide that happened to establish Europeans on top. Prosperous. There's a reason for it. This is why you don't want to talk about it. Let's tell the truth. Tell the truth. We're not who you taught us that we are. We are the Most High's people. And He resurrected us. He put His Spirit within us. And He is causing us to speak to you. To give you a divine opportunity to humble yourself and change your heart. It is about your heart. So he was genociding and ethnic cleansing of the people who are already occupying the land over there as well. Okay? They brought the principle of white supremacy. All right? They brung it over there to that counterfeit land. Okay? And then they brung it over here. They've been had it over here since 1492. And it remains an accepted part of their society today. They are not the biblical people. These people are not the biblical people. We are the biblical people. The lands over here in the fourth part of the earth is the true biblical land. It don't matter what the hell you want to believe. You want to hold on to European ideology. And until you humble yourself like a child and unlearn the wisdom of this world, which is European ideology, you are going to be deceived. You're going to stay deceived. And then you're going to perish. Oh, man, come on. No. Don't start all the way over, bro.
Good rising, brethren.
No, come on.
Psalms 83 was and still is alive and well. When, stuff was sent to, artifacts were sent to museums, they would hide the artifacts in the basements of the museums and never display them, showing the great things that happened here, the great things that were made here, invented here in the Americas. The museums were like, oh, nobody wants to see that. That's not something that the people want to see. There's no interest in seeing, the great artifacts from the Americas. See, they don't want to see that because then it's in their face that they've been lying about the greatness of these lands. And they also are doing these things because they're trying to make it seem as if prophecy revolves around them. Prophecy revolves around the three parts. That the fourth part is only going to get destroyed. And that there's no such thing as prophecy about America. Only that it's going to be destroyed. That's all that they say. Not the greatness of these lands. Because they want to be great. And they weren't here originally. So therefore, they got to pretty much take the greatness that was here and apply it to themselves. And everyone has to go along with it. Damn the facts. Damn the facts. Damn all the evidence of the greatness of the people that were here. Damn all of that. If you want to be part of my group, you're Psalms 83. You've got to take crafty counsel against the hidden ones. Why are we hidden? Because no one wants to acknowledge who we are. No one wants to acknowledge our greatness. So you have to hide who we are. You have to hide our greatness in order for you to step in to our shoes. So let's read that real quick. Psalms 83, verse 2.
Hold on.
Nobody wants to hear about what happened here. No one wants to hear about the history before Columbus. See, that Florentine Codex, 12 books, I saw on sale today, but that's not going to happen anymore. So they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. We don't want to hear about your greatness. We don't want to hear about the greatness of the Americas. We don't want to hear about the greatness of your nation. We have cut you off from being a nation. You're no one. You're African American. You're stuck in between two continents where neither group wants you. The Constantine Christian Americans don't want you. The Hamite Africans don't want you. So you're just stuck in the middle with no one giving any kind of recognition to you as a person. That's what they've done. So we're going to let us cut them off from being a nation. The name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. The fact that these lands are ours, that is not in remembrance. Even if they know it, they're not going to admit it. This is why no one comes after this truth. This is why no one comes after this information. Because they can't. Because that will open up a whole can of worms that they are not prepared to talk about. See, the Most High and the Holy Spirit have prepared us for this fight, for this battle.
Exactly.
Their spirits can't prepare them for anything because they're not dealing with the Most High. All they're dealing with is just hiding information, ignoring information, because the truth is not in them.
Exactly. We were prepared for this. So like my brother just stated, this is all biblical prophecy because he said that he would awaken us, that he will put his spirit within us. We are the living witnesses. Okay? So we're the ones who have been ordained by the Most High to speak his word to you. And many of you are outright blatantly ignoring us, continuing to just blow us off as if we're blowing smoke, but that's detrimental to you people. Okay? I mean, like, I don't understand any other way to get you people to realize what you are doing. Okay? Like, bruh, one second. I think I posted it to Facebook, but I'm not for sure. Let me see. If I did, it was in the comment. One second, people. You know how I am. Flow by way of the Spirit, okay? So he replied, let's see. Please don't teach on my post. I wasn't teaching. I was giving you the truth. It don't matter whether you resonate with what I said. That's crazy. So he deleted my comment. Wow. So let me see if I posted it to my page. Because if I didn't, I do have it. Okay, no, that's not it. Let me go ahead and post it. I am really glad that I had it here first. So 1 second, because I'm going to post it. Alright? So I don't care if you resonate with what I said, because it's the absolute truth. And you people are going to see. You're going to see. Whether you want to or not. You're going to see. You cannot just supersede his people whom he put here to help you. Alright? 1 second. Let me get the picture. I didn't put a picture on the comment. So 1 second, people. You know how it is. I gotta flow by way of the Spirit. Alright? I gotta get the perfect image here. Let's see. What is that? I don't know what that is. Give me just a moment. Just a second. I know, people. Give me just a moment, though. I'm looking for. I gotta find a image to put here. Right. So you're at the end of your system. At the end of your system. You people have deceived yourself. If you seriously think that you can mistreat his people all of this time and then just supersede us, like, bruh. Okay, I'm gonna use this. Yeah, that's perfect. Alright, I ain't gonna worry about attacking nobody right now. Let's see. I'm gonna put it in a couple of groups. Alright, 1 second. Alright. Alright, it's posting, and as soon as it posts, we're gonna go over it right quick. Let me see what time this is, just in case it refreshes again. Alright, that's at 8:20. Doesn't matter if you resonate. It does not matter if you resonate. And I'm gonna have to originally. Alright. See? Alright. So, I said you're on point for the most part. However, and let's see if we can actually open a link in a new tab, because I want to read. Actually, let me go ahead and see if I can actually include that and update. So, oh man, so I got blocked. He blocked me. Damn it, bro. That sucks. That is crazy. That's crazy. So all of a sudden he just blocked me. So I couldn't get his comment. I couldn't get what he put. All right, but anyway, this was my response. I said, you're on point for the most part. However, there's some clarification that needs to be added to this. Point 1. You stated, do not harm nor kill nor murder the innocent or anyone who has not attempted to harm you. We're not to harm anyone, period. We're not to shed blood, period. Point 2. We cannot rule out the sins of the past because the ramifications of those actions are affecting the lives of the indigenous people for the worst and the lives of the nations for the best. It has affected all of our lives to this day. The sins of our forefathers directly affects the circumstances of our lives today. We must also account for our own past transgressions before becoming aware of it via the light of truth. These are things we must repent of, and we must make amends. Bloodshed does not cover sins. No one can enter into the coming kingdom without first being born again. That means unlearning the wisdom of this world and relearning via the spirit of truth. These days, the living God, eternal benevolent essence of love, life, and all things good, is utilizing a certain bloodline upon the earth. It is the remnant of people whom he awakened within the land of our captivity. We're instructed to speak by way of the Spirit, which he filled us with. We've been given the oracles of the Great Spirit to freely give to those who have the ears to hear, the heart to receive, and the eyes to see. Only the humble and obedient to the eternal divine laws of love, life, and purity will enter the coming kingdom. Also, it's very important to understand that this remnant, selected by the Great Spirit as the children of light, are also the living witnesses. We're here to be a blessing unto all nations, but the nations have to first humble themselves in order to receive us. We've been heavily misrepresented within this world. That's why it's very important to let go of the wisdom of this world. Understand, we've all been taught many lies via the educational school system, religion, media, etc. We've been portrayed to the world as quote unquote nothing but property, seen as nothing more than a commodity. As the scriptures declared, we've become quote unquote the scum of the earth. The nations as a whole got to reap the benefits off of our destruction. Therefore, there's no way any of these nations can be delivered with us when setting themselves against us. Therefore, they must first make things right with us, and this is an individual effort, okay? Because it's dealing with individuals. All right, this is where it comes into play, where it's not the whole. Okay, because as a whole, your nation of people established this system. It is a European system that is on indigenous land. Okay, so if you are really about it, saying that you are not a racist against us, and you love us, you care about us, you don't look down upon us, then you're going to have to prove it. It's an individual thing. It is about your heart, okay? Whoever comes across these messages, your heart is being weighed by the Great Spirit, okay? Because these things happen. It doesn't matter whether or not you resonate with it. Okay, if you don't resonate with it, then that lets people know, that lets us know that you are wicked. Okay, if you do resonate with it, then that lets us know, it will let people know that you are righteous. Okay, because it's not about what you psych yourself out to believe in your heart. It is not about what you confess out your mouth. It is about your actions. Okay, so now, the nations as a whole got to reap the benefits off of our destruction. The original people in these lands, when it was invaded by Europeans. Therefore, there's no way any of these nations can be delivered with us, because the deliverance is coming for us, because we are the ones that are prisoners of war in our own ancestral land, held prisoner by Europeans, a European government. Okay? So the deliverance is coming for us. And if you want to be delivered with us, you cannot be set against us. Okay? If you want to be delivered with us, then you need to cleave to us. Because we are the people that are about to be redeemed. We are the people who are going to be delivered. We will have to be delivered. Because it is an evil system that's been erected on our ancestral land. All of you other nations have a land of origin. So you have to first make things right with us. For it is our ancestral land that will be established as the headquarters, having the protection of the Great Spirit, all while the rest of the world, the unrepentant / disobedient, is in turmoil, reaping their just deserts. This is biblical prophecy. Every single thing that I stated is in the prophecy. Just because you want to deny it and ignore it and act like it ain't gonna happen don't mean it ain't gonna happen. You must cleave to the children of light. You can't cast us off and think you're gonna to be spared. How? Because you are not gonna be spared whatsoever. You can't claim to love our Father while hating his people. This is how we are treated in this land. By the majority and by the system itself. So if you choose to continue being in one accord with these worst of the heathen who are trotting us underfoot, then you are for the side of Lucifer. Okay? And that goes for everybody. It ain't got nothing to do with skin color. Because there are plenty people that are this color who are in one accord with the worst of the heathen. They don't care that they are treated this way. They don't give a damn as long as they got that money. Okay? As long as they got the fool's gold and they're able to live nice on the earth right now, they can give a crap less about how we are treated as a whole. They will sell their own brethren out. This is what they have done. They sold their own brethren out in order to take on these people's mindset. Still treated as less than them, but yet they're able to live better than us. You know, so it is what it is, people. It don't matter what you believe. I'm sorry you don't want to believe this truth. Okay? You know, that's on you. That's on you that you don't want to believe the truth. Okay? These are not the biblical people. All right? You've been lied to.
That's why they don't have any confidence to come after this information. They don't even have confidence to have a conversation about this information. Because all they've done is hide books, hide information, put it in the basement of a museum, say that no one is interested in that. Well, we are, because this is our information. You're interested in just hiding it. We're interested in bringing it out, which is what we're going to do right now. Love this picture right here. Look like the Grand Canyon. Our people, our history, hidden. And the Holy Spirit bringing it to us now. She has been sent to bring all things back into remembrance. And that's why Gentiles can't say they have the Holy Spirit, because they can't go to the scriptures and say, give an example of how what they're talking about is the Holy Spirit bringing things back into remembrance, because they're the ones that have been responsible for hiding everything. Exactly. So we get into Queen Mu. When at the impulse of the instinct of the self-preservation, men linked themselves into clans, tribes, and nations, history was born, and with it a desire to commemorate the events of which which it is composed. The art of drawing or writing was then invented. The incidents regarded as most worthy of being remembered and preserved for the knowledge of coming generations were carved on the most enduring material in their possession, stone. And so it is that we find today the cosmogonic and religious notions, the records of natural phenomena and predominant incidents in the history of their nation, and that of their rulers, sculptured on the walls of the temples and palaces of the civilized Mayas, Chaldeans, and Egyptians, as on the sacred rocks and in the hollowed caves of primitive, uncivilized man. It is to the monumental inscriptions and to the books of the Mayas that we must turn if we wish to learn about the primeval traditions of mankind, the development of civilization, and the events that took place centuries before the dim mist recorded as occurrences at the beginning of our written history. Historians, when writing on the universal history of the race, have never taken into consideration that a man in America and the role that in remote ages American nations played in this world stage, and the influence they exerted over the populations of Asia, Africa, and Europe. See, we, just like today, exert, pretty much influence on everyone.
Yes, we do.
Our nation, when we were here, Mayak, we were here on Turtle Island, we exerted, right? Influence on everyone. And then we do the same thing today.
Yep.
Even in our lowered condition, you still want to be like us. Even in our lower position, you still, succumb to our influences. The things that we bring out, you follow. Because we are the trendsetters. We are the ones with the spirit. We're the ones with the soul. So therefore, you copy what we do.
Everything. Every single thing, bruh. Every single thing. Hip hop has went all over the world. You got Chinese people doing hip hop. You got freaking Russians doing hip. You got the Jewish people doing hip hop. Okay? Yes. Is hip hop everywhere? Pretty much in every culture. All right? But that started with us. All right? Like, bruh, like every single thing. Cornrows. Now you got all cultures doing cornrows in their hair. All right? Doing braids and stuff. That was us. We did braids. All right? Bruh, stop playing with us, okay?
It's a micro level and a macro level. When we were in our nations and we were at the top, everyone wanted to be like us. That's why so many of our practices are worldwide. But you wanted the Catholic Church and people in the three parts, they wanted their opportunity to be on top. So therefore, cut off the head. Cut off the head of the snake. Cut off where you're getting the knowledge and understanding so that you can play the role of being the head while we were suffering our punishment. So again, American nations played on this world stage and the influence they exerted over the population of Asia, Africa, and Europe. Still, as far as we can scan the long vista of the past centuries, the Mayas seem to have had direct and intimate communications with them. We had direct communications with all these places, just like the superpowers today have communications with, their colonies. Same thing. This fact is indeed no new revelation, as proved by the universality of the name Maya, which seems to have been as well known by all civilized nations thousands of years ago, as today that of the English. Exactly the same thing. They just copied us. So what they had their pretty much their civilization. They had their colonies where the sun never set on the colonies of England. That's exactly how it was for us. Sun never set on our colonies. That's why if you look up stuff about information about Chichen Itza, the pyramids there at Castillo, and the ones in Egypt, how they mirror each other, how they're aligned to the stars and all these things. So when one goes down in one place, it goes up in another one of these pyramid areas, because That shows you how they're connected. Because they were a civilization of our people. It's like we knew about, Abraham teaching the Hamites, teaching Mizraim. But this is much bigger than that. They'll give you a little bit of history, a little bit of information, but you really got to search for the rest of it. So look, thus we meet with it in Japan. The islands of the Pacific, Hindustan. So again, there's what you call India today. We had an influence on them too. That's why you think that they're the same, because our people were teaching them too. Asia Minor, Egypt, Greece, Equatorial Africa, North and South America, as well as in countries known to us as Central America, which in those times composed the Maya Empire. The seat of the government and residence of the rulers was the peninsula of Yucatan. Wherever found the name Maya is synonymous with power, wisdom, and learning. Is that not the same as today? We who are standing up in great boldness in front of all those that have oppressed us, we are pretty much exuding these types of things, right? Power, wisdom, and learning. So you think that power is all about just military might. We got the angels with us. Our angels can take down your military whenever they want to. Exactly. That's scriptural. Exactly. That's biblical.
And they know it.
We've always had the angels with us when we are with our power. You don't believe it? Ask those Egyptians in the past.
Ask somebody.
They thought they were, they were badass too. And what did the Most High do to them? Brought them to their knees with plagues. Because that's what the Most High does.
No, the Most High don't bring plagues upon people, but does allow it. All right? Does allow it, yes. Them plagues is allowed upon wicked people. All right? Yes. Plagues are allowed against wicked people. All right? Death and destruction is allowed against wicked people. But it don't come from the Great Spirit. All right? It's allowed. Allowing and doing is two completely different things.
So they're going to bring you down already. He doesn't need other countries to do that. Most High going to do that himself.
No, Most High ain't going to do that. My brother, nope. The Most High does not do evil whatsoever. Allows it. Allows evil against evil. Yes, allows it. Only does good. I don't understand why my brothers can't understand it. There is a benevolent power that only does good. So it can take the evil that's done and use it for good. Okay? But bruh, it does not do evil. Alright? Allows evil. Anytime someone is attacking someone else, someone is spilling blood, shedding blood, alright, causing misery, causing suffering, causing agony, causing turmoil, any of that, they are being used by the demonic realm. They are being used by Satan. They are following their lower carnal nature, alright? And that is not of the Great Spirit. However, the Great Spirit protects its own. Okay?
You're going to know it was him.
No.
You're not going to have to guess. And
we'll know that the Most High protected his people and allowed these plagues upon the worst of the heathen. Okay? Yes, you're going to know that it's supernatural. But this supernatural event that is happening little bit by little bit, slowly unfolding, is because of your own damn wickedness. It is not because the Great Spirit is bringing death and destruction. No, people have sown death and destruction all of this time. Therefore, we're in the time interval to where the Great Spirit is going to allow all of these nations to reap their just deserts. All right? And it's going to be at the hands of the wicked. The wicked is going to take out the wicked. All right? The Most High does not do evil whatsoever. All right?
I think it was these other countries coming together against America. You're going to know it was our Father.
You're going to know it's our Father that he delivered us. that he delivered us. It is about our deliverance. All right. And the punishment of the wicked. But the punishment of the wicked was brought on themselves. All right. Because of their own transgressions. Therefore, that eternal law of reaping what you have sown is going to be poured out upon them. And no, the Most High is not pouring it out. It's preordained time intervals. Is that time? Okay, is time. It's time for the destruction of this system. All right, and all the unrepentant, disobedient, hard hearts of people. All right, they've had their time to live lavishly. They've had their time to mistreat his holy people. All of these things. Okay, so now it's time for them to reap their just deserts. It does not mean that the Great Spirit is doing evil against anybody. Okay, they brought evil upon themselves, and they are bringing evil upon themselves because they refuse to humble themselves, repent, and be spared. Come up under the umbrella of protection. Truly give your life to the benevolent energy source. All right? The benevolent energy source is never going to do anything negative. Is never going to do anything evil. Okay? Is always continuously positive and good. Okay?
You're going to know that it's payment for what you did to his children.
Yes, they are going to know that it is payment for what they have done to us because they're going to know that they are reaping what they have been sown. All right. That eternal law, bro. That eternal law that's in effect. It is not to be taken for granted. Okay? It is not to be ignored. It is not to act as if it is irrelevant. All right? You are going to know. All right, that you should not do to others things that you would not want done to yourself. Okay, because it's the severity of that eternal law that's in effect. Okay, so all of us with a pure hearts, okay, the few of us with pure hearts, pure motives, pure intentions, and we've been mistreated our whole damn life by wicked people who had corrupted ass hearts, evil intentions, and all of these things. We are about to be blessed abundantly. But all the people that's been mistreating us and being evil towards us, they are about to go through great tribulation, great suffering. They're going to reap exactly what they have been sowing.
So again, wherever found, the name Maya is synonymous with power, wisdom, and learning. You ain't learning here today? You ain't learning new stuff right here today? You Gentiles who are here trying to get content? You Israelites who are trying to get content as well? Because when you're aligned with the other nations, you are stuck only teaching what they tell you. Just like in a Catholic church, they got a missalette that they tell you what's going to happen, what they're going to teach all year long. You're in the exact same situation. That's why your breakdowns don't change, because you've already been told what you can and cannot talk about. Right. You cannot. You still push that lie that these lands were discovered by Christopher Columbus and they didn't know anything about these lands. When there's going to be nothing to be further from the truth.
And then it's like, you call the Native Americans savages, but then then you give them reparations, you give them casinos, you allow them their reservations, and, but they're still subservient to the American government, to the United States government. They are still subservient, all right? I think my brother Big Judah talked about this a few times, about how they have to have the United States American flag there. All right, that there's certain things they are under subjection of the government. All right, so if they are truly the true indigenous people, why would you be subjected up under the European government that's a foreigner on this land? Why aren't you fighting for the right to not be up under their subjection? But see, that's what we're doing by way of the spirit. Okay, we're not gonna be up under foreign occupation whatsoever. All right.
Your lands are in the position they are because we taught you. You didn't do anything on your own. You got your knowledge from the source, and the source are the Most High's people and our lands. So again, wherever found the name Maya is synonymous with power, wisdom, and learning. The existence of the Western continent was no more a mystery to the inhabitants of the countries bordering on the Mediterranean than to those whose shores are bathed by the waves of the Indian Ocean. Valmiki, in his beautiful epic, the Ramayana, says that in times so remote that the sun had not yet risen above the horizon, the Mayas, great navigators, terrible warriors, learned architects, conquered the southern part of the Indo-Chinese peninsula and established themselves there. Again, we were all over the world. They knew exactly who we are. That's why they work so hard to hide who we are now. But it ain't gonna work anymore. That's why they're terrified when they see these people, this certain group of people stand up in great boldness. Because they know our history. They know what happens when the Most High turns his face back to us. They know what happens when the Most High empowers his people again.
You should know. I mean, those of you that got our records, you've been reading our scriptures, okay? Even though it's been perverted and polluted by Gentile ideology, all right? They're the ones that translated our records, all right, into their languages, and they have manipulated it. But, I mean, it's still in the scriptures. It's all still in the scriptures, all right? Understand, you taking our records. You took our records, and you think that you know something.
Our history. They know what happens when the Most High turns his face back to us. They know what happens when the Most High empowers his people.
When he empowers his people, you should already know, and he's already done this. All right, spiritually and mentally, we have been empowered by way of the Spirit. We have no fear of this foreign-ass government that established itself on our ancestral land. For we know that it's time for our deliverance. We know that our Father is going to deliver us up out of their hands. There's nothing that they can do about it. And now it may look pretty damn dire for a minute or so, okay? Because it is stated that we are still in Jacob's trouble. Yes, we are. But we are supposed to be delivered up out of it, okay? We're going to be delivered out of it, all right? We are still in Jacob's trouble, but we are going to be delivered out of it, okay?
Again, we have no need of having to come together with other nations to help us. They need us to help them. Come correct. We don't need any of you. You need us. You've always needed us. We are the light of the world. You are living in darkness until we bring you the light given to us by our power, brought to us by our Holy Spirit. That is our job. We are the priests of the world. So again, these people know. This is why they don't say anything. This is why they're all confederate with not telling us who we are. Oh no, you're African American. Oh no, because they don't want us to know. Because they know that once we find out who we are and we turn back to our power, it's a wrap for them. So again, the Mayas, great navigators, terrible warriors, learned architects, conquered the southern parts of the Indo-Chinese peninsula and established themselves there. In the classic authors, okay, Greek and Latin, we find frequent mention of the great Saturnian continent, distant many thousands, okay, stadia from the pillars of Hercules toward the setting sun. Plutarch, in his Life of Solon, says that when the famed Greek legislator visited Egypt 600 years before the Christian era, Sonchis, a priest of Sais, Also, was it Xenophis, a priest of Heliopolis, told them that 9,000 years since, the relations of the Egyptians with the inhabitants of the lands of the West had been interrupted because of the mud that had made the sea impassable after the destruction of Atlantis by earthquakes.
Wow.
So we had been going back and forth, having contact, and then all of a sudden that stopped. But they knew who we were. And when the Romans came in, we're going to go on that later on, they wanted to be on top, so therefore they had to pretty much destroy any knowledge of the Mayans so they could take the place of the Mayans. So that people would think that the Romans were synonymous with power, wisdom, and learning, when nothing could be further from the truth. Because all they have is power. All they were given was a sword. They were never given wisdom, and they were never given learning.
That's not even real power. That's a false sense of power. That's only physical power. All right, spiritual power is way more powerful than any kind of physical power. All right, so there's only so much you can do physically. Spiritual is infinite. Okay, everlasting. Physical is temporary. Okay, so it is what it is, people.
So they had to have the Inquisition. They would just torture people to death because they couldn't reason with us, because we already knew who we were. That's why they were going after the Israelites, because they could not reason with us and make us believe that they were the top of the food chain. So that's why they had to kill us off, because we already knew that we are the top of the food chain when the Most High is with us.
Yep.
When we mess up, then we go to the bottom. But we knew that eventually we were going to finish serving our punishment and be moved back to the top. So all of this trying to put yourselves on top is pretty much just going to backfire on you, because eventually when we awaken, the whole world's going to see that you're not dealing with real knowledge. Right. That the ones that are dealing with real knowledge are the Israelites that have been awakened with the Most High, because they're going to bring a knowledge that you cannot contend with, which is exactly what you're seeing right now. The knowledge being brought here on this channel through the power of the Most High and the Holy Spirit, you cannot contend with. All you can do is run. Run, Forrest, run. That's all you can do. You cannot stand toe-to-toe with anyone on this channel. You cannot stand toe-to-toe with the Most High's chosen people that have been awakened and restored back to their rightful positions. Positions of knowledge and understanding. You cannot contend, so you run and hide, which is what the Most High said you were going to do in the book of Enoch. So you get to play us for a while, get to take all of our gold and silver and beautiful things from our temples, and embellish your own for a time. But now your knowledge, understanding has been exposed that you have none. How much longer do you think the Most High is going to let you continue playing Mayans? How much longer do you think you're going to have playing us? Psalms 83. Ignoring facts. I'm going to venture to say, not very long.
Not very long at all.
Thank you again to the Holy Spirit for bringing us back. Thank you for the Most High for sending us the Holy Spirit to bring us back. Let us know, Gentiles and other Israelites who have made a covenant with you Gentiles, when you want to stop running and stand up and defend your lies, defend your information, defend the lies you've been sending and spreading worldwide. All praise is Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge it, Yahushai. Shalom.
Alright, so that was it for my brother Big Judah. Alright, and I was looking for a short little clip here. I don't remember the name of it though, that's the only thing. Let's see. Alright. Give me a second, people. Close this out. Alright, give me just a moment to find out which video this is.
It's the Roaring 20s.
1 second. Yeah, okay, I brung that out yesterday and
As Israel if you want. So I'm
is this it? Oh shoot, for some reason that one's not playing. That's crazy. It's an MP4 file, so I'm not understanding why that won't play. That's the one I want to play. Well, I don't know why that won't play. Weird.
They did a mud flood.
Alright. Let me switch you guys back. Alright.
They did a mud flood. They did some plagues. They did it to the Chinese with opium. They did it to the Australians. They did it to the American Indians with smallpox.
Yep.
They just go into a country, plague the whole place out, and then take over their buildings. New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well. The black people, they weren't brought over by slaves. They are the original owners of America.
Thank you.
Black people, African Americans. They don't come from Africa. They were already here, and they plagued them out. And they stole the Smithsonian Institute, which is Jesuit controlled, stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just left wondering who we are, where we come.
Alright, you see that? Okay, now let's go to this one.
It's the Roaring 20s. The country is flourishing. Some African American communities are prospering, like the residents of Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. A remarkable Baptist pastor named Solomon Sir Jones is the pioneering filmmaker. His footage was lost for more than 50 years. Jones captures the bustling life of Greenwood, which could be any American small town.
So it took us from 1830, with the Trail of Tears being forced to the other side of the Mississippi River. Some of our people ended up in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, and this is the outcome of it.
But Tulsa's whites don't like what they see.
Alright? They did not like what they seen, so they came and they bombed our neighborhoods. Alright? Hold on a second. Let me switch you back over, because I gotta check and see which video. Oops, I did not mean to bring that up, bro. This one screen is really difficult.
It was an
Hold on, people. Hold on, people, because it's gonna bring up my Audacity, but I didn't want that up, so I'm gonna close it back out. Alright. Okay, that one will play. Alright. 1 second.
These black king.
second, people. I don't know why that one won't play. That is crazy.
They just go into a country.
Alright, this is the same. Alright, let's get these out the way.
They just go into a country, plague the whole place out, and then take over their buildings. New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well. Whoa. The black people, they are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans. They were already here, and they plagued them out. And they stole the Smithsonian Institute, which is Jesuit controlled, stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just left wondering who we are, where we come from, where we're going. We don't know anything.
All right.
These black kings of West Africa began sailing across the Atlantic to Mexico as early as 900 AD. Now, why did they do that? They did that for trade, not for conquest or invasion. They did this for trade. Mali was very wealthy in gold. They had lots of minerals. Some of the black kingdoms, they were called the Yoruba or the Benin. They were great workers in bronze. But the trouble with West Africa, and it's still a trouble today, not enough food, famine. Somehow, the black kings of Mali had preserved this tradition long before, where there was this kingdom across the sea, a totally different one. It was very hard to reach. You needed to have excellent ships and good sailors, and nobody in Europe was doing it at this time. But if you cross that sea, this other kingdom across the Atlantic was very rich in a certain kind of food, which the people over there called maize. We now call corn. And these West African kings launched at least 2 major fleet trading ventures that went across the Atlantic 900 AD to about 1600 AD. And they brought over their bronze work, and they taught the Mexican people, the ancient Mexican people, who were then known as the Mayas. The Mayas had built up a great kingdom of their own, but in 900 AD they were in decline. They're really on the outs. Nobody knows exactly.
All right, so this is the original Atlantis over here, all right? And we were first, all right? As you heard my Big Judah, my brother Big Judah brung out how it is out of a reference of a book, and I brung it out many times as well, that it was the first land to rise up after the flood, okay? It was the first dry land, all right? So the original people and the original land is the Americas. All right, so we didn't come here from the 3 parts, okay? We were here. The 4th part was the first land out of the waters, okay? And then the other parts, okay, came after the Americas. And the people from the Americas went to other parts of the world and helped build up their kingdoms, okay? That's what we did. And we brung knowledge to the whole damn world. We were the priest of the earth, okay? I know it's hard for you to believe. I know it's extremely hard for you to believe, because you want to believe that we are the base. But this is what the scripture declared will happen to his people, that we will become the tail, okay? And the strangers will become the head. All right, so, you know, it is what it is. We are the biblical people that fit the biblical prophecies. And we've been given the mouthpiece to speak. All right, we're to tell you these prophecies so that it doesn't take you by surprise, even though it's still going to take many of you by surprise because you keep ignoring us as if we are irrelevant.
Inhabited by a stalwart race of people known as Indians. Though they were all brothers under the redskin, the Indians were divided into different tribes, such as the Blackfeet, the Flatheads, the Hotfoots, and of course, the Cleveland Indians. The Indian tribes were all led by famous chiefs, among whom were Big Chief Crazy Horse and Big Chief Rain in the Face. The Redskins were crafty hunters and could lure a moose out of the woods by imitating its call. Indians were the first to grow tobacco, and they were also the first to commercialize it. Communication from one tribe to another was carried on by means of smoke signals.
And you see how I said India before the N was there? This was India Superior. Alright? America was known as India Superior. Alright? That's why they called us Indians.
Before Indian braves went on the warpath, they made themselves look ferocious by decorating their bodies with war paint. It was a dangerous undertaking for any paleface to travel through Indian territory.
Did you hear that? Some of the tribes did not take kindly to the palefaces being over here. Alright? They would attack. Okay? And this is why they were calling us savages. Alright? But nevertheless, they turned out to be the savages. Alright? So we were not pale-faced, okay?
Act, or Dawes Act, which would change the lives of American Indians forever. Under this act, the United States gained millions of acres of land from citizens of the 5 civilized tribes in Indian Territory. This seizure provided plenty of land for white homesteaders and cleared the way for Oklahoma statehood in 1907. Henry L. Dawes was the United States congressman who proposed the act. The Dawes Act would abolish each tribe's communal ownership of land and instead allot a certain amount of land to each individual tribal citizen. The rest of the tribe's territories would be deemed surplus and open for development by non-native settlers and corporations.
Whatever happened in various tribes that occupied North America, who are they today? They will become known as the only people without a birthright.
Alright. Try one more time. Okay, I don't know why that won't let me play that. That is crazy. I really wanted to play that. So, hold on.
Yo, am I the only one? Well, I'm tripping, right? Y'all remember years back, like 5, 10, plus, Africans wasn't fucking with us, right? It was saying we ain't part of them, da 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 da. We different people. We're slaves, or what they like to say, akata, and all these other disrespectful things. We have no culture and all of this, right? You fast forward time, and us true Americans start doing our research and start doing our genealogy, and we found out, yo, we not a part of y'all. We're not the same people. Matter of fact, our people been in America since the beginning of time, for eons. You feel me? And that's why y'all copying off of our cultures and we're not copying off of y'all cultures. Because if y'all was the original ones, we would be copying off of y'all, right? That's what original does. You feel me? People copy off the original peoples, the original inspirators and contributors to society, which is our people. That's why everybody copy off of our culture, off of our shit, off of our foods, off of our everything. You feel me? Our mannerisms, our lingo, the way we speak, the way we walk, the way our hair is, the way every little single thing is imitated by others, right? But we the only one that ain't imitating others. Unless you got, you don't like yourself, and that's another thing. But now that
we are just on a mass scale, because bruh, they have forced it. They forced immigration into their society, okay, and into a European society, all right, and being a part of their economy and all of this, all right, having a mindset after money, okay, materialistic things, pleasures of the flesh, okay, all of that came from the European worldview, all right. We were a completely different type of people, okay. We didn't base our opinion of others upon superficiality, all right. We valued one another for our skill sets, for who we were as a people. But the nations that invaded, they did not value people. They valued money. They valued gold. Okay, they value materialistic things. Therefore, the mentality of most people is geared towards that of a capitalistic mentality. Okay, and that came from the worst of the heathen, okay, who invaded these lands.
We saying that we ain't African, cuz, and we not a part of y'all, it's an issue. But when y'all was screaming it was cool. And we got the proof to back up everything we say. We got the genealogy. Matter of fact, we can go back and call on our 7th, 8th, 10th great grandparents. Can y'all? Y'all talking about we don't have culture, we don't have a history, we don't know where we come from, but we can. We can actually go back and call on our ancestors' names and know where they resided and what they did and the whole nine. But can y'all? And then with these so-called fake-ass natives or First Nations, right? I remember 4 or 5 years ago when I got on here, they was making fun of me for using the term Aboriginal, using the term American Indian, da-da-da-da-da-da, right? And then when I stepped on them with the actual knowledge and the etymology and the correct terms and the origins of these terms and who they were applied to, then they changed it up. Now they saying that because they used to be like, oh, you can't be an Aboriginal if you're not from Australia. Goofy. American Indians were being called Aboriginals before Australians. And then you say, oh, you can't be an Indian if you're not from India. That was Hindustan and Bharat before 1947. It was Hindustan at the time. It was turned over to India. Well, the term was changed to India. The name was changed to India. But before that was Bharat. Like, y'all don't know the history or the origins of anything y'all speak on. Y'all just get on this shit and regurgitate some shit that sound good or some shit that feel good. And then y'all was on that ancestry DNA test, and we start telling you and proving you that the ancestry DNA tests are 99.99% inaccurate. They're not the same as parental DNA tests. I explained that multiple times. It's on this page. It is definitely on my YouTube. Go check it out. Ancestry DNA tests are not accepted by no governments or no tribes as a way to prove your lineage. Think about it. Use logic. That's a lot of things that your motherfuckers fail to use. It's fucking logic. Thinking for yourself. Comprehension skills. Like, y'all shit's in the garbage. Like, any angle that y'all chose to come from to try to disrespect my lineage or our ancestors and our peoples, I stepped on y'all every single way. I can tell you who came who and when and where. Like, but y'all can't do the same. Y'all just like to regurgitate insults without actually having any knowledge that validifies it, that makes it valid. You know what I'm saying?
They're basically just spewing the same thing that we've all been taught in compulsory education. They're not using any critical thought whatsoever, haven't done any research on their own outside of what was established within the educational system. All right, so not saying that you ain't had to do research papers on the Eurocentric world view. That's the issue. Okay, because that ain't real history. That is his story. Okay, so you need to read books like Dogs of a Conquest. You need to read books like American Holocaust. You need to read books like When the Rocks Cry Out. You need to read books like They Came Before Columbus. You need to read these kind of books, because these kind of books was not included in the educational institutions. Okay, because they didn't want us to know that this was our ancestral land. They wanted us to believe that we came from across the oceans, from a whole different continent. Even though we don't know exactly where in those lands that they supposedly kidnapped our people. They can't provide any of the slave ships as evidence. So literally, you just expect us to take you at your word that this is how we got to America. Not to mention the fact when we look at the paintings in the caves and all of these things, okay, the wall paintings, all right, they are our people. Okay, the paintings don't lie. Okay? No, the Europeans lied. Okay? One lie on top of another. On top of another, on top of another, on top of another, and it's just a pile of freaking lies.
Y'all don't have anything. Y'all just spit out different shit that y'all was misinformed on, that y'all was educated. You know what I mean? And you know your education is, you know what I mean, indoctrinated misinformation that was taught to you purposely, that was put in place by the Rothschilds. You understand? But, you know better, you do better. But damn, let me know if I'm the only one. I know this shit went a lot longer than it should have. But am I the only one noticing this shit? I've been noticing, but I want to see if y'all do. Oh, and that's another reason why I don't like using the word black. One, because black, when it started, was an offensive term for our people. It was a status. Two, and three, that shit mad inclusive. Like, anybody that's melanated in the world can say they quote unquote black, even though that doesn't describe your skin complexion, doesn't describe mine. All my people brown, various shades of brown and copper. You feel me? But it's mad inclusive. You got foreigners coming over here saying, "Oh yeah, look at the black struggle. Look at this, that, and third." Y'all ain't have to go through what we go through, cuz. We made it possible for you motherfuckers to come over here, but y'all still spin on our face. And then we tell y'all who we are, and you motherfuckers come back and tell us we ain't who we is. But we the one telling you who we are. But because of what society put in y'all head, y'all think y'all know us. And that's the furthest thing for the truth. Y'all don't know us, cuz. And we ain't the same people. That's why we think different. That's why we look different phenotypically. You understand? Yeah, and I'm gonna stand on it. Shit me? I always stand on business. Everybody know it. Come over here, fuck around, and get fucked up if you want to.
I don't agree with cussing people out and violence, okay? But my brother telling the truth on the other parts, you know what I'm saying? I think there was one more that I needed to play of this, but 1 second. Gotta try to find it. It was dealing with a file. Okay, here it is.
I ain't gotta come up with a stage name, say entertainment for the.
Oh, okay, no, that's just music. Never mind, people. Alright, this is Dane Calloway. Alright, I thought it was gonna be him talking, but let's see.
Just add on to this. This study showed there's no link between us and Asia. Sorry to burst your...
I don't think you read that article properly. Let's tap into your source. Popular theory of Native American origins debunked by genetics and skeletal biology. Latest scientific findings suggest the ancestral Native American population does not originate in Japan, as believed by many archaeologists. Skip on down. Widely accepted theory of Native American origins coming from Japan. We're going to skip on down. Simply does not match up. I don't make videos telling you that you come from Japan. I don't think you read this article properly, but let's dive deeper into this article because you only read just the title and that's it. The findings published today in the peer-reviewed journal Paleo America are likely to have a major impact on how we understand indigenous Americans' arrival to the Western Hemisphere. Reading comprehension. They're still trying to figure out how did you come here, but they have an answer in this article. But this new study out today in Paleo America, the flagship journal of the Center for the Study of the First Americans at Texas A&M University suggests otherwise. What do suggest mean? What do suggest mean? Let's get to my favorite part in the article that you tried to present against me. We do not dispute the idea that ancient Native Americans arrived via the Northwest Pacific coast. They literally just said in their article, we're not disputing that. We're not debunking that. We know that's factual. Only the theory that they originate with the Jamon people in Japan. So what you talking about, it has been debunked. They're just saying, no, we got to erase the notion that y'all come from Japanese people. But let's look at the next pair. These people, the Jamon who lived in Japan 15,000 years ago, are an unlikely source for indigenous Americans. Neither the skeletal biology or the genetics indicate a connection between Japan and the Americas. The most likely source of the Native American population appears to be Siberia. Oh, it's a cut. It's a cut. How do you cut yourself with your own article that you didn't even...
Now, in that description, it said we had straight hair, like mine. Your hair doesn't look like mine. Your hair looks like the description of the African man that they were describing.
First of all, it's a book, not an article. Let's go to that part where she's talking about, right? And you know, it's funny that you put yourself next to the Asiatic one too. And let's talk about the phenotype of the Asiatic in this old book. And let's see, do you actually match this one? Because you're not a deep dark copper. A deep dark copper is like a dark brown. That's like me. The Asiatic or Mongolian race of a deep yellow color, deep yellow color, deep yellow color. Their hair black, stiff. Your hair is stiff and straight. Yes, yes, sir. And it says rather thin. I just told you. You sit up and try to compare yourself to the people down here. And I just told you, you do not match that. And it says heads almost square. You got a square head, wide mouths, high cheekbones. You don't have high cheekbones, just being real. Small, flat noses, flat foreheads, small eyes. And it says the race comprises the Japanese, Chinese, Mongolians, inhabitants of Siberia in Europe. Finns, Laplanders in Europe, and Eskimos, islanders in America. Now, I already told you, I don't even have to go deep into this, but let me show you something. Since you want to talk about woolly. Ma'am, This is my hair in its normal way. There it is right here. Now let me show you my hair in an afro. This is my hair in an afro. It's still a straight horse wave. You see how it's pointed up like that? It's still a straight kind of like-ish hair or whatever, but my hair changes all the time. Oh, I got real records to prove who I am. Ma'am, you still haven't identified yourself of which tribe you are. We still waiting. I don't even believe in DNA results, but clearly you're European. Just saying. DNA testing is fraudulent, and you still want to go to that DNA testing mess as if it's legit. Roll the clip.
It is a statistical guess.
Yeah.
It's an informed guess, but it's never a 100% sure thing.
Timothy Caulfield is a health policy professor who studies the ancestry business.
I think they're selling something that isn't really supported by the science.
What do you think about the messages that are being sent to consumers?
I think it's misleading. These companies are really trying to push the idea that this is scientific, right? They are using scientific language and they present it in a way that looks very scientific and precise.
Caulfield says what people are really buying is entertainment.
I think it's recreational science. They can have a little bit of fun with this stuff. Don't take it too seriously, but know that you are just getting some information that is an approximation of how your DNA compares to other people. It's not tracing back your heritage.
I find it weird that you like to use old racial science created by white supremacists.
Science created by white supremacists, yet you're taking a DNA test made by the same supremacists. The same people that created eugenics, the same people that made the Afro-African theory, the same people that made race and ethnicity. How dare you say that in the same sentence and call me an African? Just like this. Let me show you.
You definitely look like the picture of the man who they described as African.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
That's so crazy, man. How they are so entitled. Why are you so entitled to tell us who we are? Like, that is absolutely insane. But we thank the ones that tell the truth.
100 years later, the Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. Now, have you ever wondered what that passage meant from Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech? I did, and what I found was one of the biggest secrets that's not really a secret at all, except to many African Americans, is they are not descended from Africans. I know, I was shocked too, so much so that I asked Africans, and they agreed African Americans weren't Africans. If you don't believe me, Google Arnaldus Montanus America and see the people he saw in 1671. Read books like The Black American Handbook for Survival through the 21st Century by Radine Amin-Ra, What Every African American Should Know by Carrie Davis, and Africans and Native Americans by Jack Forbes. I just can't believe schools aren't teaching this stuff. What a travesty.
See? Now, I include, Europeans telling the truth. Because all of you are not complacent, okay? But you need to take it to the next level, all right? And if you don't get resources to help us, if you don't have abundance, because we know that there's a lot of Europeans that's also impoverished, okay? Then you can do things like this, brother, all right? Speak the truth. Help us, all right? Don't just sit back on the sidelines and ignore it, being complacent with our captivity under the boot of the worst of the heathen. Now, I think that's pretty much it. I do want to show you how America has more
all across North America. Did you know that? Hundreds of years before Columbus came. We always think, the Indians, they didn't scar the land. No, not true. These were cities as large as any in the world at the time. London or Rome, they were metropolises. Archaeologists say they have found evidence of 200,000 actual cities of mound-like structures all across North America that were here long before Columbus. But we don't know anything about them. Why?
Because They don't want you to know who we were before Europeans came to this land. Alright? And that's the absolute truth, people. Alright? They don't want you to know who we really are. Alright? They want to keep their foot on us. Alright? They want to continue to wipe their ass on us. However, we are the original Americans. Okay? Now you can believe whatever the hell you want to believe. But once you come into the realization that we are the true original Americans that were here when these lands were invaded, it should break your heart when you realize all the atrocities that happened to us in order to get you and your people in the position that you are, and us in a position that we are in. Okay? Yes, it was biblical prophecy that was spoken against us. All right. However, we have served. We've served our punishment. We reaped our due justice. And now there is a handful of us, a remnant, that is truly serving our Father. Alright? We've come back to our Father. Alright? And we're being obedient. So it is evil to continue to help cause our suffering by refusing to assist us. Okay? It's time for you people to become a righteous animal. Alright? So, this is my last video, people. Until further notice. Alright? You know, I don't have $50 to pay these people. So, I'm gonna be taking a break. Alright? Until I'm back. Alright? So on that note, I will say, till I am back, shalom.